in the traditional music industry, my stocks are different than in the eyes of my audience.
In 2009, the YouTube channel iamamiwhoami started releasing short, mesmerizing videos of surreal and mysterious music and visuals featuring an artist yet to be identified. Speculation started to grow in different parts of the internet. What had begun in forums, chat rooms, comment sections eventually spread to music blogs and news media and turned into a frenzy of who was behind the assumed to be PR campaign. Artists like Trent Reznor, Christina Aguilera, Fever Ray, Goldfrapp, and Lady Gaga were all subject to media's investigation around iamamiwhoami's identity, and some openly declined their involvement. And everything about it had everybody asking, who is this? iamamiwhoami and ionnalee has released a total of 6 stunning works, and even went on to found their own independent label, To Whom It May Concern. The name I am, who am I, often causes confusion.
Can I ask you if you know I am I, who am I?
I am who I am. I'm going to look them up now.
Iamamiwhoami.
iamamiwhoami is a musical duo. Me and Claes Björklund make music together, and Claes produces the music. Before iamamiwhoami, I released my own music as well, and I felt it was time to reconnect with what I did prior to. The journey of making this project has shaped me as an artist. So I produced a solo album and made a film with John Strand. The most significant difference for me is the personal point of view, speaking from the artist's perspective. In early 2018, I went back to Fivelsta kyrka, which is my birthplace. It was the place where I learned to sing and the only place where I could be around instruments as a kid.
Under your control.
That was the moment when I decided that I had to go on tour. I felt an urge to meet the audience that has been supporting us and following us for 9 years now, you know?
iamamiwhoami and ionnalee quickly growing international following, which iamamiwhoami themselves refer to as the I, has become a subcultural online movement spread out on multiple online platforms. This passionately invested community is always watching, and both participate in their releases actively or passively, as well as functioning as an inspirational art hub for different artists within the fan community.
I'm used to people being skeptical of what I do. I had a lot of voices telling me that it would be very difficult for me to tour in the extent that I want. It requires a promoter, agent that really understands what we do. There is no guarantee that my audience who streams my work will show up at a physical concert. I've heard this many times before, and I know that my audience will be there. So I did what I've done previously, which is showing the audience the reality of things. And through Kickstarter, I asked them to create this tour with me.
A Kickstarter project was launched on February 2nd, 2018, giving ionnalee and iamamiwhoami's fans a chance to affect the outcome of a world tour and to contribute to what was missing in funds to make this world tour a reality. If you don't know how crowdfunding sites work, if you reach the funding goal within the set deadline, the funds go through. If not, you get nothing. Here, in just 5 days, the Kickstarter goal was reached and the Everyone Afraid to Be Forgotten tour could go into finalizing production. As the tour Kickstarter closed, the funding had reached over 200% of its original goal.
Feeling the support of the audience, knowing that it is that important to them that this tour happens, that made me feel really motivated for the future. I feel responsible on many levels, but I always feel responsible to deliver something really good. When the Kickstarter goal was reached, me and Klaus started working on the music production together of the iamamiwhoami body of work. I got my solo material together and made the foundations for that and brought in tungorna to do live edit versions. And then we started rehearsing. Simultaneously, I was rehearsing dance and writing the visual story to hand over to John Strand and Alexei Romanovsky, who I work with closely in the visual team. All of us here at Tvimk began working around the clock. Me, John and Alexei found an interesting way to merge our visual words together. Which the big heads,
yes, like big head.
Silhouette inside big heads.
Yes.
But we have two heads.
Привет.
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 Привет, Москва.
Привет, Москва.
Привет, Москва. Привет.
Привет. Привет.
Привет.
Yeah,
Привет, Москва.
Yeah, that's
Я
much
люблю
better.
вас.
Я люблю вас.
Я люблю вас. When the Kickstarter goal was reached, we could start finalizing the tour.